The emir of Qatar has become the first Arab leader to openly support the idea of military intervention in Syria. He says Arab states should send in armed forces. It follows reports that Syria's deputy army commander fled to Turkey 2 weeks ago, becoming the highest-ranking officer therefore to defect so far. Let's discuss this with Associate Editor of Infowars.com, Patrick Henningsen. He's on the line now via broadband from London. Patrick, evening. So why is the emir of Qatar calling for military involvement by an Arab army contingent of all peaceful means of solving this conflict now officially, as far as he's concerned, been exhausted?
Well, I think let's look back at Libya. Qatar played a crucial role in the destabilization of Libya and actually provided 1,500, 1,600 troops on the ground during the Libyan uprising. Okay, Qatar also was the country that signed the deal back in February 2011 to market the crude oil from Libya. This is way in advance of the toppling of the Gaddafi. So I think with Qatar, they do have an alliance with NATO. They're aligned with the U.S. As you know, Qatar, Doha hosts U.S. CENTCOM, Central Command. So there's definitely synergy there with whatever America's agenda is with regards to Syria. Qatar will be in lockstep with the U.S.
So, Patrick, what does this now mean then for that Arab League observer mission in the country? Does it have any future at all in light of these calls for intervention we're hearing now?
Well, the thing about the Arab League that's quite interesting is they're forming an observer group, but the majority of the countries that represent the Arab League are petro-monarchy dictatorships. So as far as judging democratic processes and so forth, I don't think the Arab League really has a real democracy mandate in terms of what we understand freedom in the West as. It's a bit of an oxymoron, really, the Arab League.
What's the state of the Syrian army now? We're hearing about this reported defection of the top Syrian army general I mentioned just now, just one of the latest in a line of military figures to switch sides. Why are we seeing defections at this stage, 10 months on from that initial revolt?
Well, this is a really murky area, this issue of defecting, military defectors and so forth. With regards to the United States and Britain, normally what they do when they're destabilizing a country is what we saw in Iraq. The main incentive was financial, okay? They shipped in a lot of dollars and they managed to buy off, and this is admitted by Dick Cheney, a huge portion of the Iraqis' National Guard, Revolutionary Guard. With regards to Libya, the promise that NATO made to the National Transitional Council prospective leaders was that they'd be given a major seat at the table in a new Libya. So there's power broking going on behind the scenes, and I absolutely wager that the same thing is happening with Syria. They've either been bought off financially or they've been promised a major role in a new Syrian regime.
One army defector as well claiming in a recent interview that Syrian forces, he didn't think anyway, would be capable of withstanding any foreign intervention. Now, with all the internal divisions that we're talking about, could we see the Syrian army fall apart from inside sometime soon?
Well, if you continue this destabilization, and this is not an organic color revolution we're witnessing in Syria. Libya has sent fighters to join the Free Syrian Army. That's reported in the mainstream news. Okay, the United States has met with this Syrian opposition group, Hillary Clinton, in Geneva a few months ago. They're being financially supported. They're being materially supported by Turkey. Okay, this is a rogue militia, paramilitary army comprised of foreign fighters. Okay, these are not all Syrians. Okay, as we saw in Libya, Kevin, we had a lot of guys who were from other Arab countries, so who were involved in the Libyan rebel army that was backed by NATO. So this is a rigged game, and I think Syria, if they keep the pressure on, like they did with Libya and in other parts of the world, we've seen the same thing. Eventually, the regime will fold. It's engineered at the beginning, and then it becomes a real crisis. The U.S. and their allies are really wagering on this being the case, so the regime will implode, as you said, from the inside.
Patrick Henningsen from Infowars.com. Thank you.
Thank you.